Hey traders, welcome to another YouTube Live. In this video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. There's definitely some volatility that came in from last night, so we'll talk about it on the 4-hour and 1-hour chart. But quickly discussing the weekly, we see that the candle on the weekly chart is now looking green. Obviously, we still have a handful of days left before the end of the week. It's Wednesday now, but overall, it's looking pretty bullish. Not going to really dive into the weekly because we talk about it very often. Looking at the daily chart, we see there is a huge increase in buy volume coming into the market. We see the price push up back to the recent highs of around $96-ish hundred, looking at other exchanges here. And we see buy volume coming in as well on the number of transactions and the amount of transactions there. Overall, it looks pretty good, but the one thing I really want to make sure that we all understand is the fact that the price is still within the consolidation. So we saw consolidation here, we saw consolidation here, and then now we're seeing a consolidation here. And initially, what I was personally thinking is the price could potentially come see this low here, retesting this resistance before we get the impulse move to the upside, but we got that impulse move before we actually made it all the way down to the support. But overall, we do see more buy volume coming into the market. We're testing these highs, and we'll be able to see that on the 1-hour chart. Quickly looking at the Gemini exchange on the same daily candle, or daily time frame, we do see that bullish engulfing candle. Very, very strong. Let's see how many hours until it closes. So we got just under 7 hours until this current candle closes, and then we'll have that candle closure on the daily candle. That signifies that there is significant bullish strength within the market. Not seeing a wick protrude out, but for now the candle is holding up right at the high of the consolidation, which is pretty darn good. But like always, we want to ensure that the price is breaking a key level, not holding right below the resistance. So let's just close some of these out. And let's talk about this consolidation now. So we got a few other resistance zones here on the chart, but we're not really going to be talking about those because we're still in our consolidation. So this is our consolidation. We got our key level of resistance, which is around $9,500, and then our key level of support here. Let's just check where it is, $9,200. And we're just bouncing from support to resistance at this point. We did see a descending trend line come like this, and then we broke it. Unfortunately, well, actually, it was kind of like this. We'll show you on the day or the 1-hour chart. We had two trend lines. One, this candle really made it difficult to draw that trend line. So then we drew another trend line, which was kind of like this. So then we had kind of like this situation going where we had two descending trend lines, and the price held one for support and then broke one for a resistance, and then had the initial bullish move to the upside, where now we are testing these resistances yet again. So it does depend on how the price actually closes within that zone, because like before, we have seen the price reach these areas but then get rejected pretty significantly right back down. But the movement here is definitely a little bit different, because in other situations we were kind of holding right in the middle, getting some wicks to go both to the upside to the downside, but this was a clear move from the very low of the support where buyers were accumulating their coins to the very top without any real hesitation of sell pressure. It was a very, very confident, aggressive move right to the upside, which shows me that there is strength within the bulls. And depending on how we are able to break this zone, the bulls could continue. So now let's talk about the 1-hour time frame and discuss what played out within the breakout and what we could potentially see in the future. Now, in terms of future, I don't exactly know, well, no trader exactly knows, but looking at the daily chart, let's discuss what we could potentially see here, because we have a very key zone of resistance right here, which we're currently under. Key level of support and resistance all along here. You can see it's very, very well respected within the consolidation of the mid 2019, and then we see a resistance right here. So overall, we do see that there is a lot of sensitivity, a lot of sell pressure within this area. So it will take a little bit of pressure in order to actually break this zone of resistance. Now, what we're looking for after the break of the resistance is a pullback, validating this level as a new level of support before pushing off to make new highs. But overall, we're looking for the push initially, but I think what would happen is once we see the price break above this zone, I'm sure there's a lot of people shorting at these areas, or at least going to sell when the price does pump to the upside. So overall, I do think it will be an aggressive move if we do actually break this zone, because there's going to be a lot of sell pressure within this area. And once that confidence gets broken, more or less there's going to be a quick aggressive shift in trend. So not going to say it's a full-on breakout yet, but definitely we are seeing a lot of bullish pressure come into the market, and it is pretty strong and looks pretty confident for the bulls at this point in time. So let's discuss these trend lines that we drew. So this is the anchor point, and then we saw 1, 2, 3, 4 resistance testers, and then it turned into a support. Support bounce right here, support bounce right here, support bounce right here, and the last level of support held at the lows here, which was the zone of confluence, initially from our descending zone, but then also from the horizontal zone that was picking the price up over and over again, shown right here. So there was a zone of confluence there, and we were not looking to long at this point in time, but we did have longs on. We did see a nice push, exhaustion, and then we saw the nice double confirmation, seeing 2 injections of buy volume before giving us the option to enter. The second injection of buy volume obviously was pretty significant, where the price opened here and then it closed all the way up here. So I don't know if I would have been able to actually get an entry, because ideally we want to see like a little double bottom or something before we actually enter, and this obviously is not really letting me risk my desired risk parameter, because I'd put my stop loss below here or even below this red trend line. So overall, not the most ideal situation to enter here for me as a trader, because I don't have double confirmation, and if I do, I'd be entering here. But overall, we are looking pretty darn bullish. We've broken this key zone of resistance here. Now, just remember that we did do something similar where we saw that right here. So I think entering long at these situations might be a bit of a risky situation, unless we are willing to just take that stop below this zone. And if something happens like this, where the price breaks this zone, we're just going to have our stop loss set there, and we will take that loss. But there's not a whole lot of confluence. I'm trying to look for like ascending trend lines that could potentially come into play, and not really. The only one I'm really seeing is the one connecting these higher lows here, and the price would basically have to come back significantly in order for it to actually become relevant, whereas now there's not a whole lot of trend lines I'm looking at. Even in terms of the bigger time frames, I'm not really seeing any trend lines that I could pick up right now. Let's just look right here, because this is a pivot area. We can see that right now, but for me, there's not a whole lot of trend lines that are in play, which is not awesome. I definitely like having the ability to use trend lines to make my decisions. But we're just playing with it right now, seeing what we can come up with, but not really. We're not really seeing any trend lines that we could use in order to try to understand the market a little bit more clear. That definitely is not something. Yeah, we're not going to do any trend lines at this point. We're just going to look at the bigger structure of the higher highs and higher lows and go with that. So now that we've understood the daily chart, the 4-hour, and the hour chart, we'll then look at the BTC longs and then look at the percentage for different exchanges. This is just on Bitfinex. So we're seeing that higher high form on the for the longs, which is pretty significant. We've held this as a support, so now this will be a key level of support if the price does come below back down to this level, potentially creating a triple bottom. But for now, not a whole lot of movement. We do see that there are more buyers entering the market, but what will show this even more significantly is going to be the coin farm stats right here. So let's just talk about it yet again. We'll get the 24-hour volume, which is right here, which is going to give us the percentage of people that are long or short in the 24-hour time on each exchange. On BitMEX, we see that there are more people long within the 24 hours, so more people are buying. There's 54% of people buying and only 45.5% of people that are shorting. So there's more buyers than sellers on BitMEX, as well as on Binance. There's more buyers than sellers. There's 52.5% of people that are buying on Binance, whereas there's only 47.5%. And then on Bybit, same story. Just under 53% of people are long, and just under 47% of people are short. We don't really look at the two other exchanges because they don't have much volume. And then looking at just the 1 hour, this is less pertinent. The 24-hour volume is what we're really looking for, because it gives us a little bit more depth as to the duration of time, not just a single hour. But let's just quickly look at the 1 hour. We see that there is a discrepancy on BitMEX for 54% of people that are long and only 45.7% of people that are short. But then for Binance and Bybit, there are more short sellers, not significantly. Like there's only 0.5% more on Binance of short sellers, and there's 1.3% of people that are short more on Bybit. But overall, those are a little bit even. And then the only major discrepancy, not crazy, but there's definitely a discrepancy on BitMEX against the long shorts, where the longs are they have a higher position and they are more long biased. They're wanting the price to go up on BitMEX compared to the price going down. And that is the exchange that has the most volume by far. So that is pretty important to know. So overall, it looks bullish. I am definitely looking for longs. I already have longs within the market. I am looking to buy some alts to get some sympathy plays going on, but we are still within the consolidation and we have not broken our key level of resistance. So we just want to make sure that we're not going full out balls to the wall longing, and we could potentially look for some hedges within the market. Let me just get some coffee here. But overall, we're looking long, but we want to ensure that we understand we're still within the consolidation. We have not broken out into new highs yet. This is the high right here, and this is the second high. Yeah, we've broken out to the recent high because we've been in a little bit of a consolidation down. But looking at it in the 4 hour, looking at the consolidation, we have yet to break our resistance zone, so we don't want to be too bullish just yet. We want to ensure that yes, it's good to have exposure to the long side at this point. I think it's a great idea, but we do want to also ensure that we are not going full out. Let's just long everything and looks amazing. If we do get that push to the upside and then we potentially see some lower highs form, and then we get to draw a trend line, and then we break and then retest the previous level of support as a new level of resistance on a zone of confluence. If we get like a perfect situation like that, then we can look to really put a little bit more capital aside in order to try to speculate on that price action continuing to the upside. But for now, we are remaining a little bit more hesitant still because of the bigger time frame. We are right below a major level on the chart, and we've already had our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 price action pattern where it's an Elliott wave, where it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get your ABC pattern that is commonly going to come in after the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the ABCDE pattern there. So if you don't know anything about Elliott wave, check out the Performante Premium. We talk about that within our educational system. And if you're looking to get more in-depth knowledge of how our TA works, or if you want to learn how to conduct proper TA on charts to try to capture profits within the market, definitely check us out. We are a basically naked chart, simple support and resistance line traders. We swing trade. We're mainly looking at the hour and 4 hour chart to make our decisions, and then the daily will be the macro picture using the weekly and daily, but our execution is 4 hour and 1 hour time frames. And it's absolutely free to join our community, whereas the Performante Premium, where you get the videos, books, tools, access to our trades, trade reviews, everything, trade, reviews if you want us to review your trades, all that is within the Performante Premium. And the first first month is 50% off. So definitely check it out if you haven't so far. So hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please leave a comment within the comment section below on YouTube. We'll appreciate it and we'll answer you if it's a thoughtful comment. And yeah, if you have any questions, like always, we're happy to answer them. And we hope you have a good rest of the week. We'll be doing another crypto market update probably a little bit later today. And then we'll also be doing a very, very in-depth one, including all of the altcoins within the Performante Premium crypto market update as well, because we always do two right in the morning. We'll do one for the public channels, just talking about BTC, and then we'll move to the altcoins where we talk about actual trade decisions that we're making, seeing what trades we're in, and then discussing how they're moving, what our trade management strategies are within that particular trade, and also discussing new opportunities that are emerging in the market. So we do this every single day where we'll go over in video exactly what we're looking for in a trade before we even take it, and then after we take it and we close a position, if it was a positive trade or negative trade, doesn't matter, we're going to go over the price action, how it played out, how it affected our trade, what went right, what went wrong, what did we do, how did we manage that trade. We'll go over all of this for each trade that we take. So it's very, very valuable information. I feel like a lot of people don't do this who are mentoring or who are teaching. They just kind of brush it away and don't really look at the bad trades that they're taking. But here at Performante, we like to really, really provide the best value. And to really understand trading, you have to understand losses, because it's inevitable. You will be taking losses as a trader. And the sooner you learn to understand how to use those losses to benefit you, the faster you will attain the success you're looking for in trading. It's not easy. It's a very, very tough journey, but you can do it. So if you're looking to try to get better as a trader, if you're looking for more resources or tools, or just want our 2 cents, it's very cheap to join for the first month, and we are very friendly. So until next time, happy trading, and hope you enjoyed this video.